Frisbee flopping outside. It was fun.
Good.
Billboards showing a pregnant woman having a lesbian. That's it, having a lesbian. Has been cleared by the advertising watchdog after complaints that it sexualised children. Take a look at the viral video.
Well, everything seems to be coming along fine. Now, would you like to know what you're having?
We would.
You're having a lesbian.
Lesbian.
Okay, well, Gretel, what do you think about that first up?
Okay, I know what I'm supposed to think about it because I've been active in gay rights since I was 18. Okay, I've always been there supporting gay rights. I think this ad is ridiculous. I personally find it offensive. Not because it sexualises children, but because it's saying you have a boy or a girl or this other type of being, which is a lesbian. How does that progress an understanding of what being gay actually is?
Right, Georgie?
Well, I get where I'm just seeing the advertiser, it's the parents and friends of lesbian and gays who are behind this. I get where they're coming from because although it's foreign to us, there are still people out there who have the view. For an example, apparently one of the complainant has come forward saying homosexuality can be cured. Okay, so what we have to remember is there are still people out there who don't believe in homosexuality, who still...
But how is that going to change their opinion?
Well, because what this is obviously trying to do is to really drive home to people that being homosexual is not a choice. So in other words, they're saying here, at this point of the pregnancy, you're having a lesbian. Okay, so...
But I think that's not what it's actually... And I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think, well, how do I feel? Because I do know people who are saying...
This is a debate. This needs to be sorted out.
I do know people who say it's a choice. You choose, which would raise the question, well, why would people choose to be persecuted throughout history? Why would you make the choice to be homosexual? Obviously, you're born this... This is us interpreting this ad. We're saying that it means that you are born gay, but actually the message on the end of it is any child can be born gay, so marriage equality is every family's issue.
So it's a marriage equality issue.
Well,
so
the
first
timing
of all,
is curious.
It's disconnected to the message, and secondly, it's not saying that being gay is a normal part of life. It's actually exacerbating the problem by saying there are males, there are females, and there are lesbians with whom you cannot identify because they're not normal, is what it's suggesting.
But, well, I think it'd be really interesting to get the perspective of someone who's gay on this because, you know, my interpretation and speaking to friends of mine who are gay is that I get the impression that they feel that this would actually help normalise it. And something that, as a parent...
But who are you trying to normalise it for? Not someone who's gay, someone who's not. So how does that normalise it?
Well, for everyone. Yeah. Because I know my kids, for example, are at an age where they're starting to ask questions. And for me, I would see this ad as actually a really probably helpful springboard or platform to have the discussion. Look, it's interesting. It's interesting that we have different interpretations, and I guess it all hopefully helps in the debate.
What about this? Do you want to label a child before they're born as something?
Well,
that's what they're doing.
And I think that's the thing. It's not saying you're having...
Just
in
like
society, we don't say you're heterosexual or homosexual. It is sexualising to a degree. I think it completely misses the mark with a really good intention.
Which is interesting because it comes from the friends and family of
But
gays.
we've got to remember... Can you imagine? I mean, gay people can be very political as well, just like anybody else.
Anyone.
How many factions there are, and this is one group. This is the voice of one group, and not necessarily the voice of all
And as we touched on earlier, the timing is curious, given the whole gay marriage.
But the whole thing about that is, like, I haven't met anyone who doesn't think it's gay marriage should be there.
Oh, I've met one.
I personally haven't, so I will qualify that remark and say that I've not personally met anyone who's against gay marriage. If you've ever wanted